So it's good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mocha for Your Morning Show. Today we have a very special guest, so stay tuned.
I wasn't ready, but I'm ready now.
Okay,
I can see the question.
so we have a very special guest, which you guys are very much familiar with.
That's
But
me.
today, spontaneously, we were gonna do a really weird episode, and then I'm like, Martin, you never get interviewed. You're always interviewing and talking about everybody else, but you never talk about yourself.
There's a reason why we don't talk about myself because I'm saving it for a book.
Okay, so this is huge, you guys. Apparently, we're gonna have a book coming soon.
Yeah, it's going to be it's kind of funny because I always thought that my life was a book, and I mean, even as far as I could think backwards, I was like, I feel like my life is not my life. I feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere else in life, and it was so weird because there's actually a reason for that, but I will tell you that about it later.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself, even though I know a little bit. But what made you become the Prescott Times?
Oh my gosh, a very loaded question. Okay, so technically, I never thought that I would be in this position or having a business that is doing such a thing. I actually decided to okay, so all my life I was a very active man. I actually loved going out there and taking care of business such as building homes, working on cars, working on yards. I was literally the manual labor of all manual laborers, but I also rose to the top and got all the way to like the boss bro, journeyman framer, and I was literally the guy with all trades. What do they call that?
The jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, the joke. I was a joke man, and so I learned so much stuff, and I started just being, very inspired. And plus, I was a very physical man, and I just loved just doing what I did best. But then I started thinking in 2008 that there was some things that were going on with the economy, and so I started like trying to pick up other things, and so I realized that that was when MySpace came out. I don't know if you remember that,
yeah.
but MySpace came out, and I started seeing that people were really interested in other people's lives, which they were anyways, because of all the tabloids and stuff. So it was like a Prescott scene thing, and so I started uh, using it for my benefit by throwing parties, and I used to do a lot of parties, and so I enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed just putting and bringing people together. So fast forward a little bit, obviously I gained, a lot of followers in MySpace, and then it turned into me promoting large and big bands such as Iration and Slightly Stupid and, Authority Zero for our local scene, Black Bottom Line, a whole bunch of like reggae rock slash punk rock music slash, just a lot of fun. And then I realized that I have a great following. I wonder if I could go ahead and switch it over to um, other people's events. And so I created the Prescott Night Out page.
Oh, Prescott Night Out.
Mm-hmm. PrescottNightOut.com came, and it was just an inspired calendar that would put out all the calendars out there, and then also promote other businesses. So I started asking for a nominal fee to go ahead and start promoting them. And then I started getting bigger on Facebook. And then I jumped straight to, just posting everything in everybody's like business, like all their stuff that they were doing. And so then I ended up getting an actual, what do you call it? An actual person that called me, and they said, "Hey, do you want to come and work for us?" And it was like a local online news resource. And I'm like, I might. And at this point in time, mind you guys, I was actually doing really well in my detailing business, making a good amount a week. And then at one point in time, I said, you know what? I'm not supposed to be cleaning boogers out of cars. And so, I mean, before I went into the detailing business, I loved just working on the paint because I was the paint guy, kind of like, did the spot painting, bumper painting, and just blended up so amazingly. But anyways, Come to find out, it wasn't me, man. It wasn't me. So when they asked me to come work for them, work with them, I was there just to market them. And next thing you know, I was like, man, I kind of like what they're doing, and it seemed pretty easy. I was like, you got to go to school for that. And I'm one of those guys. I'm like, you got to go to school for that. And so I'm like, all hands on type of guy. And so I get in there and I start literally just getting like involved. And next thing you know it, I was like, I don't like this company, man. They're kind of weird. I have a lot of different words and choice of words. And so another company came and says, hey, I would like you to come do what you're doing there here. And I said, would you guys be able to still, keep up with my salary? And they said, no. And I said, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. And because I had a dream, I felt like that this was an aspired dream, waking up one day and then realize that this was what I was supposed to be doing. And so then I ended up jumping in, and it was kind of a really good feel thing. I was like, okay, I like this. I'm getting involved. I started sitting down and actually interviewing a lot of the senators and people that were running, the state. And I'm not really big on politics, but I really like to talk with, people. And so anyways, fast forward just a little bit, and I had to leave that company. I literally had to leave that company. It was a bad thing. You ever heard about guilty by association?
Yeah.
Well, I was guilty by association with this man. And you guys can go back and look at it. His name is David Stringer. I'll just throw that out there. And you guys can see why I had to leave that place. And I said it. Yes, I did. And it was kind of funny because it actually ushered me into the Prescott Times. And I did have another owner that jumped in, and he says, I want to invest in you. And I was like, dude, you can invest in my events and stuff like that. I don't know if I want to, step into this realm. And I saw a need here locally in Prescott. And so we did a little bit of scouring, and I bought a bunch of domains that would be kind of like comparable to what we're doing today. And none of them fit. And then all of a sudden we're like, let's look up the Prescott Times, just because it's like a cliche type of thing. And so sure enough, it was there. And so not only did I buy the PrescottTimes.com, I did buy the PrescottValleyTimes.com and also the ChinoValleyTimes.com.
Whoa.
If we decide to go ahead and move outwards, to basically, help out each community. But I feel like the PrescottTimes.com actually captivated this area. So long story short, without a lot of drama in the middle of that, and I'm going to write a book.
And he's going to write a book. Okay, well, we have a couple people saying good morning. Good morning, Katie. And good morning, Kathleen. Thank you so much for watching.
Good morning.
This is a really exciting episode because that was a lot of information. We even have names, and we had a lot of juicy gossip, you guys. But I want to
juicy gossip.
I want to dive in. So you are local, like not just local. I moved here, been here for a few years. Like you're an actual local.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been here?
Born and raised. I am now 44 years old, and I've left probably about 2 years of that. And well, out of Prescott, I left about 2 years out of that. And then I did move to Prescott Valley, which is not too far away. And I've been was out in Prescott Valley for like 20 years.
Wow.
So Prescott Valley was my home for 20 years. Prescott was my home for like 18 years. And after high school, I went to Scottsdale to build homes.
Wow, that's quite a journey. So
it is. I have actually, like I said, I want to write a book. You guys are going to be very inspired by this, because I'm inspired by myself as far as like, oh my God, Martine, because there was a time when I didn't think that I was going to be going past 18. So there's
so many details. That's like an intense story. So definitely follow the Prescott Times for the details on the book. So you do.
It's funny because I gave you the insight, man. This is on the Moca for your morning.
Yeah, you guys, like this is an honor that we have, on the Moca for your morning. A lot of
Kathleen
information.
Says very interesting story. Very interesting.
Yeah, like, and there's so many details. Like one day you're just gonna have to do a live and just like talk about your story, just like a pre-show for your book.
There will be, but at the same time, I actually want to grab all of my morning posts because it's kind of inspirational, because every day I wake up, it's always inspirational moment. Like I literally have to be constantly just feeding myself with nothing but positive affirmations because of this negative world that we kind of like get brought into and live in. So that's kind of what happened with me.
And you're doing so much good for the community. Like you're always trying to like give and serve and, and just promote people that are doing something, like you did with me, and helped with so many things that I was doing. So I think, and you're so loved by everybody. So I think
I
that's
think I'm loved, but sometimes I might not be loved, but whatever.
You are so loved. Everybody in town loves you, and everybody raves about you. And and San Martin honestly, seriously serves so much and genuine. I'm behind the scenes, and I've seen so much that he does to help others and serve others. And you and Ceci, if you guys don't know Ceci, you have to follow her because she's another inspiration, and she's just so loving and positive. Like she's just a bubble walking, like she's just a rainbow. Like,
yes, a little rainbow.
Yeah.
I, like that. I love you too, Mark.
Hi. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that because I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was being raised in Prescott, Arizona, our thing was that we said hi to everybody. We loved everybody. I mean, like for instance, I'll be driving down the street with my uncle back in the days, and it would be like honk 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 honk, hey, honk 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 honk. I mean, it was always like every other car. He would be like, "What's up? How you doing? What's up? How you doing?" And I would always ask him. I say, "Do you know him?" He goes, "No, I don't." And it's kind of funny. Fast forward now, and Kiki does the same thing. She goes, "Did you know him or know them?" And I was like, "No." I was like, I just like being nice to people. And sometimes it's cool, but if you're not from Prescott and you're from like a big city, you're just like, dude, what are you trying to sell me? I've had that told me like 4 or 5 times. They're like, what are you trying to sell? And I'm like, what the? Are you serious, man? I was like, you are so like desensitized that anytime somebody's nice to you, there's going to be something that's going to be sold.
It happens. Yeah, that's the beauty of living in such a small town and such a small community. You actually become like family, and we run into each other like everywhere. I feel we're having breakfast, and they're
yeah. No, this is a big deal because if you think about it, Prescott is not that big. We only serve our population in Prescott is 45,000 people.
Wow.
And I mean, if you combine all three towns or cities or whatever you want to call them, Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, we only have like about 120,000 people, maybe even if that, then that's on the outskirts and like Williams, down Williamson Valley Road and Dewey Humboldt. And so it's a small place.
Yeah,
it still is, and it never will change. So
yeah.
I don't think it will change because we're kind of landlocked here in Prescott. So the only way that you could build is towards Chino Valley and Prescott Valley.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that works out. But at the same time, it's always going to be small. And
yeah.
Anytime you walk into a place, any place that I walk into, and that's the reason why you probably see me frequent those areas, is because they know you by name.
Yeah.
They're just like, how you doing? And you pick up on a conversation like you you haven't missed a beat. I don't care how long it's been. I haven't been to a place for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even a month. And they were like, "Oh, Martin, what happened with blah, blah, blah?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It's like the conversation just keeps on going.
Yeah, it does. So what services does the Prescott Time, really quick before we go? Like, I want people to know what you do and how because I thought, like, before when I saw the Prescott Times, I thought it was a huge media company that I couldn't get in touch with, kind of like most of the media companies, some of them locally, So what do you do, and how do businesses or individuals benefit off of what you do?
The funny part about it is that I actually I'm literally just rewriting the actual media kit. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick. If not, then I'll just try to go off the top of my head. Okay, hold on. I can just type in. Okay, so first off, we are giving information to the community. That is number one for us, because ultimately, if you do not know about Prescott, Prescott has a few other locations that are actually doing their thing. Let me see. Is this it? Oh yeah, here we go. And a lot of publications are charging a paywall, or you got to do something to do it. And not to mention, paper is okay still with some cases, but ultimately a lot of people are moving to digital. So we first offer information to the community, and that's for free. That's given. The next thing that we do is that we do press releases for the community. We do live vlogcasts, like such as this one right here. We also do social media engagement, meaning that we can actually help you with social media engagements. We could also do graphic design work, which is
Wow.
kind of crazy. We also are able to do email blasts up to about 120,000 emails in Yavapai County. But we could actually go larger for Arizona if we need to. We also do a search engine optimization, which means that we actually take your money. We ask for, I think it's 25% of that in order for us to go ahead and start doing a search engine optimization for you, which means that we put your advertisement in a lot of places that your competitors are going to be doing. Website management. This is kind of one of those things that a lot of people do not know, that your website does need to be managed. It's sort of like a baby. You have to take care of it. You have to maintain it. And so we actually provide those services. And also social media management. Nobody really loves this one because you're too busy out there actually working on your business. It's really hard to go ahead and focus on stuff that social media, as simple as that. And it just keeps on going from there. So ultimately, I could build websites. We have a white labeled entity that is able to go ahead and help out with all of these. Currently, we are building, I think, 2 or 3 websites right now that are going to be for our local community, and it just started. So we're kind of getting into it. We're trying to work our ways so we could actually help benefit our local businesses. So ultimately, that's what it's all about.
Well, that is amazing. I love working with the Prescott Times and everything they stand for and everything they believe and everything they do, and they truly put their whole heart into like anything they touch. So I highly recommend contacting them for your business, and you need it. You really do need that exposure. So we're going to leave the contact information in the caption, and I'm going to tag them on my Instagram so you guys can follow them to just be updated or contact them. And thank you so much for coming in on my show and being my guest, and thank you so much for watching.
And if you guys don't know already, this is the location right here that you will go ahead and find us. And if for everybody out in Instagram world, it's theprescottimes.com. If you want to go ahead and be a part of what we have for marketing your business or whatever the heck you got, you can go ahead and hit us up at sales@theprescottimes.com.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Dude, you interviewed me. She's so sneaky. She's like, hey, we're gonna interview you, and I was like, no, you're not. Anyways, on this show, I just want to let you guys know that she is selling those handbags. Grab it.
Okay,
You gotta hand it.
I'll show it.
Sammy and Nate. Okay.
Sammy and Nate, and I'll tag that too.
I am not the only one that is rocking around this world, man. This girl and her husband and the 2 children are going to be a force to be reckoned with. So, obviously, take us out.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.